Hello everybody. Oh my goodness, I had the wrong view there for a minute. I am so happy that you're here with me. Oh my goodness, should have used some powder. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to show you what we're going to do today. I'm Christy from My Artful Adventures, and I do all kinds of paper crafting, and I'm so glad to have you here today. And oh, what happened to my comments? There we go. I got them up here. So when you come on, just let me know that you're here. Say hello. I'd love to know that you're watching. If you don't see the little red live button, then you're probably watching on replay. And I'd love to know that you were here. Tell me where you're watching from. What have you got for a beverage today at your workspace or where you're sitting today? Let me know. I've just got some water here beside me today. And that's always a good thing to have, right? Some water. We are going to make a fun little envelope, a pocket envelope folio out of some envelopes. And I think that you are really going to like it. And I've got one to show you here in just a minute. And so it's super easy. And today we're going to use square envelopes. So you can make them with any kind of envelope that you want, but that's what I am going to use is the square envelopes. I'm gonna get it together here. So just a moment here. Okay, I got stuff on my screen in the way here. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, I'm all set. Let me move something around. Okay. Whew, that's out of the way, but we are gonna, let me pop you down here so you can see, and we're gonna get going. We're not gonna waste any time, not any more time anyway, right? So I am, let me see here. For some reason, all the things on my screen are just, there we go. Okay, let me slide that over a little. Okay, I don't know what happened there. This is what we're going to make. It's like a little pocket folio, and it's got kind of a neat closure on it too. So I think that'll be fun. It's a new one. I didn't show you that the other day. I didn't even think about it. There's way more closures than I showed last week. But this is just a fun little envelope, and this happened to be some that were gold foiled. And then we're going to put in these little journal cards. You could put a picture on it and do some journaling. And, you know, you could just do whatever you want to with it. But it's got, if you use 3 envelopes, then you've got 3 pockets. And, I mean, that's a good size to, you know, to fold up. If you get it much longer than this, it's going to be kind of unruly. Now, this one, I didn't do anything on the back. Today, we're going to decorate the back, too. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you what we're going to use for paper. This is a fun pack, and this is available from Close to My Heart. Oh, and I forgot to put a link in there. I will put a link in here when we're finished. I'll put it in the description. But isn't this fun? This is called Home for Christmas. And here, this is the paper and sticker pack, just the decorative paper. So here's the stickers. Let me see. I just think that, I don't know what is going on here. I hope we've got some people. I don't know what's wrong with my broadcast. Hopefully we are live. Let me pull up my messages in case somebody tries to get a hold of me. Well, that's just odd. Well, anyway, I'm here today in the Take 5 event. We have Friday Friends is what we call it. Friday Friends Creative Event. And everybody in our lineup is going to do whatever their kind of field of expertise is and the kinds of projects that they do. And so since I do paper crafting, I do quite a bit that might be folios or scrapbooks, cards, maybe some mixed media, some junk journals, just all over the place with paper crafts. I love them all. I love to do some of the constructing with the paper crafts. You know what? Let me try to refresh my screen here. I don't know what is going on. I can't even find my mouse. my cursor. I can find my mouse. It's in my hand. Well, my goodness. This is kind of odd. Let me get, okay, there it is. I finally found it. I don't seem to have anybody watching. I am on Facebook, though, I can see, and I hope I'm on YouTube. I didn't bring that up yet. Well, I don't think I've ever had something where it doesn't show me anybody is watching, but hey, there's always a first time, right? But I'm going to go ahead because this is going to be recorded, and you can always come back and see how to make it. So it doesn't matter if, you know, if everybody is watching right now or not. It would be more fun, wouldn't it? But here we go. Here's the sticker page. And then in these paper packs, you get like three different kinds of sheets, but they're double-sided. So it's like you've got 6 different papers to work with. And so here's the one on this side. Here's this side. This is kind of cool. We don't always see a lot of black and white that is for Christmas paper, right? And then we've got this one that is this cool plaid. Doesn't that look Christmassy? And then it's got just a wood pattern on the other side, and that's such a great, gorgeous color. And then we've got this with all these fun little things for Christmas. I thought this was cute. And then this poinsettia paper on this side. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this, and yeah, I did tell you it's called Home for Christmas. And so this one, where I'm going to take this sheet, and I'm going to take one of the plaid sheets. And that's what we're going to use. And then I'm going to show you, I'm going to walk you through here how we did, how to do this one. It's a little bit different when you're using square envelopes that have, you know, kind of this V shape to them. When it's like that, and as opposed to envelopes that you might have that have more of this square opening. Now you can see on these, I just put this little strip across here and I left this part of the envelope showing. But part of the reason that I did that was it seems like I didn't have a lot of this paper to use. And it was for some kind of a theme that was going on. And so it was perfect to use for that. But I didn't have a lot of it. And it still is cute. I mean, you still have your cover is done, and then all the important parts here, you've got all of those. So even if you don't have enough to cover absolutely everything, you can make it work, you guys. So what you want to do is take your ruler, and we're going to make one needs to be a flap, okay? And so we would measure the flap here on this one. And so the flap is 3 3/4. And so you need to double it because we are going to fold this piece of paper. So it needs to be 7 1/2. But when you fold it over and we're going to tuck it up here, we want it to be just a little bit bigger than that. So I'm just going to make it another 1/8 of an inch bigger. I got to get my notes out. You get my notes out and it won't take us so long doing our project, you guys. I have already measured it all, so I know I don't have to worry about whether or not I get my measurements right. I can tell you, I'm still going to explain to you though how we're going to get that taken care of. All right. You know what? Let me go over. We do also stream into the Take 5 group on Facebook. Let me take a peek here, you guys. I'm so sorry. I don't really like to do all this, but this is really odd. Let me see if it looks like I'm streaming in there. See if I came up. Yep, I'm in there. Okay, well, there must be, it seems like somebody said there's some other big event going on too, and that's okay. There's room for everybody in the world, right, to do their crafting, record it, be online, whatever. So, and who knows? We just don't know what's going on. But we know what we're doing here, and we're going to make a pretty little folio today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my paper trimmer. Now I would normally ask for some audience participation, but since we don't have any, well, I'm going to have to decide myself. So I think what I want to do on this is I'll use this for the top flap, and then on the bottom we'll use this part. So for this top part, I need it to be 6 1/4 inches wide. Let's see, 6 1/4. And then you want to like line it up all the way down, make sure that it's going to be straight. And you guys, I did a project the other day. Well, it was the little accordion fold envelope. And you know, I just had the worst time with that, with it square. And I finally decided that it wasn't squared up, and it was probably however I had used this paper trimmer. Have not used this paper trimmer that much. And I think that, you know, probably I didn't know exactly how it best lined up. That is my only guess. Otherwise, I have no clue why that wouldn't work. Okay, another thing that we're going to do is we're going to take because of the closure that we're going to make, I want to take a little piece of cardstock, and I'm going to punch a little circle here. And this is just going to be for some reinforcement on the tip of the envelope. And I'm going to put it underneath so we're not going to even see it. It's going to be hidden away. So I'm going to glue these 2 little circles on both sides of this envelope flap. And this is just going to be our first one. This will be the top, the very top envelope. So we'll just glue that and give that a little bit of time to dry. And we're going to put one on this side. And this just makes sure that we're going to punch a hole through all of it. And this way it'll be all secure. And now this one we don't really, oh shoot, I wish I would have cut that the other direction, but that's okay. We're not going to even see any of that side of this paper. So now I'm just going to fold it and crease it along through here. Like that, and then I'm gonna take, well, this is gonna be tricky. You know what? I am just going to take this and we're going to just glue all of it because it's all going to be glued together, and this will catch our little pointy flap inside. So I'm gonna do all of that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and get the other side too. Make sure I have plenty of glue so that it can slide around and slide right into place if it's not exactly where we want it to be, okay? So we're going to, actually it goes this direction, so that we have a nice folded edge on this section. So there we go. We've got that part done. And there's the first part of our little flap. And now let's go ahead and let's put our other envelopes together. I want to show you how they go. So we're just going to add glue to the flap. Make sure you get it kind of close down there to the fold. Okay, and now we're just going to put it right here to the back of this, and then just make sure line it up on the sides as best you can. And make sure it's kind of centered. And then make sure it folds and that it's even that direction too, you guys. So that'll work out best. Okay, now the next one is just the same. And we'll put our glue along here. And just do the same thing. Just gluing envelopes together. That's not very hard, is it? So it makes a fun little project. Okay. And now just tuck that in there, get it centered, and then make sure your edges here are lining up. Make sure that it folds nicely. So actually this is how it's going to be. This one will fold this direction, and then this one will fold up. So this will be like the front of our envelope. Oh, that's not right. It goes like this. And this goes like that. Is that right? Let me check, you guys. Yes, this one folds this direction. So then it kind of accordion folds out like this. All right. You know what? Let me pull up another place. You guys, over on YouTube, and see if I can see anything over there. It's just so odd. Okay, it does show we've got one person watching over there, but there's no no comments, so that's okay. And that's okay. If people don't want to talk, that's fine. Alrighty. Crazy, crazy. Just have no idea what's going on with this. Alright, so now we've got that. And now we're going to, let's go ahead and let's take this piece, and we can go ahead and, I think what we're going to do is we're going to, wait one second. What have I done here? Okay, so on this piece we're going to use the plaid, and I'm going to cut out a piece that is, we want to make sure that it comes along here. This is 6 1/4. So I'm going to cut a 6-inch square, okay? With a 6-inch square, we're going to have plenty of room to go across the sides, and we're going to cut out this piece. So it's a little bit different than the other one because I'm going to actually make sure that we've got this covered, and I'm going to show you the easy way to do that. So let's go ahead, let's cut our 6 by 6 square. And then we can use, for the ones that we don't have to trim to fit, then they can go on the backs of the envelopes. So let's do, this one is 6 by 6. And the next one will be 6 by 6. And then you can trim off these little decorative pieces. See, on one side they have got, it's the branding strip that is on most papers, or a lot of scrapbook papers have the branding strip on this side, and it tells you who makes it. It usually tells you the name of the collection. And then on these particular ones, it tells you other colors that are with close to my heart that they have in their collections that this will coordinate with. So it makes it really easy. And then on this side, they put a decorative piece, so in case you want to use that, it coordinates with the collection as well. So it's like a freebie little decorative piece to have. So I always appreciate those, and I've used those many, many times. Okay, so we're going to cut that one, and then let's go ahead and cut some of this one. Oh, that one's not going to be big enough. I'm going to have to get another sheet of that. Where did I put that? Where did I put my whole collection? Oh, me, oh my. Oh, there it is. Well, if I can pick it up, it'll be helpful. Okay, there we go. So let's cut some more 6x6 pieces. And I always enjoy figuring out, you know, taking something that maybe I've already done and making it a little bit different, which this certainly is. You know, I have done it before, but this is enough different, but it makes it fun. And then we're just going to cut that off. And this is a little bit different look. That would go pretty with that black and white script piece. So very fun. All right, so now we've got these. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these, the ones that need to go on the top. Okay, so I said I want this front to be the plaid. So if we're going to make this the plaid, then this one will be here. And just so I don't forget, I'm going to actually stick it in the pocket, and then I will not mess it up. I will have it all right. So this works out perfect because now we've got the piece up here at the top. We've got this piece up here. And, you know, so this is going to be here, and then it'll just alternate with these different pieces, right? Now I'm going to I want to try to get the even in there because we actually are going to use it inside of that pocket for a moment. I'm going to show you how to make this fit the front. This is... And I want to put it even with this because it will help us line up our paper a little bit. Okay, so this one we're going to stick in here. And I'm going to take the edge up to the edge of the envelope. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pencil and I am just going to mark right along here. Oops, wow, I'm glad I'm cutting that out. I'm glad I'm going to cut that part out, you guys. Let me get you in here a little bit closer. It's kind of close-up work, right? So we're just going to trace around here. This pencil needs sharpened. And as long as these are on here, I'm just going to go ahead and trace around those. Goodness, that little fat pencil lead is not being very helpful. And then the other one. Wow. I usually like to use those little mechanical pencils because their little leads are so tiny and it makes it a lot easier. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim this off. So take my big old scissors and just, I've got a magnet stuck to my scissors. And I'm going to go on I'm going to trim the line off. So go to the other side of the line so you don't have that showing. And so now we've just made this to where it is going to fit right on here. I'm a little bit off. That's okay. And let's go ahead and glue that down while we've got it there. Look, isn't this wood grain really pretty? That's a nice color. I tell you, you can get wood grain in so many colors and papers. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Okay, now we're just going to slide it on here. And glue that down. And do the next one. Left it the way I measured it. I planned for that border to, you know, be around there. So that's okay. That was the plan. That wasn't a mistake. I did it so that it looked like it was a little bit matted. And if you don't, you know, like to do that, just use the measurement that you need. Don't, you know, make it, because this one was envelopes for 6-inch cards are they have to be a little bit bigger to allow for the card to slide easily in and out. And so these particular ones are 6 1/4 inches. And you guys, you know, here in the United States, I know one particular company that's based in the UK. They do a lot of cards that are 6-inch squares. And here in the United States, if you do a square card, they charge you more for postage. And it just is, I just find that so annoying. But I tell you what, if you take a 6-inch card, and I believe that you can still put, it's not going to be as pretty, it's not going to arrive as lovely, but if you use like a larger envelope, like 6.5 by 9.5, I think is the biggest envelope size that you can use for first class postage, like a regular letter rate. I think, I might be wrong, but you know, if you use that, you can just tuck your pretty envelope inside and not even be charged extra postage. So here we go, we've got this going along here. We're going to cut this one out here. And you know, I didn't even think, but if you wanted to, you could certainly ink the edges. That always is a pretty look. But I think this is just pretty on its own. So I don't mind just using it like this. And I like to use liquid glue because it gives me just that tiny moment that I can kind of wiggle it into place if I don't get it down right the first time. It just has a little bit of slippy slide to it. So let's put this one on here. I want to pull this down a little bit. I think it might be too late. That's okay. But now, here's going to be the front. So now we've got that. Here's the front. So I think that looks really pretty. I'm really happy with that. And so now, we just need to do the backs of them. And following me is going to be Wendy from Simply Bewitching Crafts by Wendy. And let's just go ahead and put these on the back just the same. Like this. So yes, so I cut all of these. The envelopes are 6 1/4 inch square. and I did them at 6 inches. So we've got, if you do like just a 1/4 inch smaller on your top and your bottom, then you're going to be able to have that tiny bit showing for matting. And sometimes if it's your card base or your envelope, you don't even have to have another piece. You can just use it like that, like we are on here, using that little bit of white to show through. So I always think it's kind of, it's the easy way of making something look matted, right? And we'll do another one. So I love doing it to where they're alternating, like this. And if you are on here and you are leaving comments, I really apologize. I do not know why I am not seeing any. Okay, and then just one more. I've got one more here. Get that down there so we can get it stuck on there. And you don't have to use liquid glue. If you like to use some double-sided adhesive or whatever your go-to adhesive is, I wouldn't do hot glue, but whatever else you would like to use, that's perfectly fine. It's gonna work. Okay, so we've got those down. So here we're coming along nicely. And now I'm going to cut some, I'm going to make some like journal cards to put inside and to where we can pull them out. And I think for these, we don't want them to be the whole width or the whole depth of the envelope because we're going to make a little pull tab on it. But I think maybe we could probably do about, I think 4.5 would look nice. And then let's just do 5.5. So 4.5 by 5.5. And that'll give us some cards to work with. I hope you guys are enjoying your start to November. So we're doing 4.5. By 5.5. And then I'm going to double check this. I'm going to pop this in one of the envelopes and see if we like that. See if that's how we want that to look. Yeah, that's super easy to get in there. And then we're going to put a little tab here. I don't know. Let's actually make it 5 inches, you guys. Let's do 5. 4.5 by 5. Let's do that. So another 4.5. Well, if you come on here, oh, I did that wrong. I cut it the same way. Ah! Wait a second. Is that the same? Why did I do that? 1.5. Okay. Next piece of paper. Where's my other white one? Okay. 5. 5 inches. I only need 3 of these. You'd think that this wouldn't take that much time to do that. Okay, so there we go. So just put whatever size you want in your envelope. So we've got it 5 inches. Wait, but the width has to be, the width was 5.5 too. Okay, so 5 by 5.5. Okay. I hope I'm not confusing you. Probably. My goodness, I've about confused myself. So 5.5. So 5 by 5.5 is what we're going to make these. It makes it close to a little square. All right, so there's our three little squares for our inserts. Okay. And now I want to make, and I think for these, to make it easy to get in and out, I think I'll round the corners. That'll make it a lot easier to pull the little cards in and out. So let's just do that. And even if it's a tiny bit, I think I'll just do this 1/4 inch because we're not going to round all the other corners on the project. Whoops, that doesn't look pretty. So you just put it in here and get it lined up. You wouldn't even have to do this. You know, you can, if you don't have one of those, don't worry about it. You can still round your corners. Just take your little scissors and then just give it a little snip around the corner. And it's as easy as that. Actually, I like mine better than what I got with that one. I liked mine better. Oh, sometimes I have trouble with this, and I don't know why. It might need cleaned out again. But we'll just trim them off like this. And then if you wanted to, you could still like do a little bit of inking on the edges of this with a color that either coordinates, or you could, you know, kind of grunge it up a little bit. I don't really want to grunge it up too much because of the white envelopes. I don't think that it would look the best like that. What do you think? Okay, you know, I wanted to check something else out here real quick. Let me see. I want to see if there's anybody in the Take 5 group. It's my understanding that if you share something and anybody is commenting, that you would see it. It would pull all of them in. But no, here is one. Here actually is one in the Facebook chat of it that and it was one of our other people today, Susan from Revive DIY and Upcycle Designs by Sue. She says that it was broken for her today too. So yeah, I think there's some issues going on there. But hey, what can we say? We just keep going, right? But we've had so much fun today. So up right before me was Melanie from Painting Crafty, and she did the cutest little drawing to make a Christmas ornament. And Mary from the Painted Peach, she came on and she was showing us, she did a couple of projects. I love the one with the stars, and then she did another little home decor project that looked more like kind of a manger scene. Okay, so I'm just going to take these and I am going to snip these out. And I'm going to do 2 of these. Well, no, I need 1 of those. And then I need 2 of the other. Did I have some scraps from that? So I need 2 of this. We're going to keep that alternating pattern theme going. And I'm just going to randomly punch those out. And then I'm going to slice them down the center. I'm going to do that with my paper trimmer because I think I can get it. I can come closer to getting it in half that way. So, well, actually, I don't know about that. Might try folding it in half so I know where half is. And it doesn't really matter if it's not exactly in half. It's not going to matter because you're going to put 1 on each side. So as long as you line them up when you've got them on your little cards, they'll be fine. So now I know that we just do halfway through one little thing and just line it up so we've got it halfway between the 2. Whoops. Didn't slice it all the way through. Let me snip it. Just snip it. And 1 more. Let's put this on here. You guys, this is going much more quickly. I have my time frame for our event is an hour. And this is not going to take me an hour. So there we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to just take these. Let me make sure I know which way is which. So, okay, so this is the width. And so I'm just going to take them. I'm going to put glue over the whole thing. And I probably should line it up. Let me use my little ruler that has the 0 in it that I go back and forth crazy. So let me get it lined up in the center. Okay, so there's the center. All right, so let's just center this, and then, oh, I wish I would have paid attention to that plaid. Look, that plaid is kind of wonky. I don't really like that. I'm not going to do that. That's going to bother me. Let me find a different one. Let's redo it. Where's my scraps of that? Well, shoot. Didn't we have another scrap of that somewhere? I hate to like tear into a whole nother paper for the, oh, here it is. Okay, I'm going to try to get this so that it's more, well, Okay. I think we did it. And I'm just going to trim it through here. And I've made sure that it's, you know, more straight. And then I'm going to make sure that as I cut this piece of that plaid, that I am just lining that up better. That other one was going to be more than I could deal with. I'm not always like that. I'm not really very OCD about anything like that. But, you know, if you've got a pattern that you're working with and it's something that doesn't line up that much, I'm not really thrilled with that. So let's see. Did we get it pretty much in the middle? Could have moved over a little bit. I think it's too late. Too late for that one. So let's just go ahead and put a little more glue on here. And along the bottom. And then we just attach them together. And then you've got a nice little pull. Okay. So that one would go in here in the middle pocket, like this. And then we'll do the other ones. Make sure that I've got the, yep, that's the 5.5 direction. And the center is like 2 3/4. I'm actually going to put my little ticky mark down here so I can see it better this time. So as we go through there, it'll be right where it needs to go. Hey there, welcome. I see it's another somebody. Welcome today. I'd love for you to pop on and say hello. And then I'm just going to tuck it down here. And put one on the other side. So we still have glue showing on that one. So we don't have to put glue on the whole. Oh my goodness. So we've got that one. So that one would go in here. So we're just still alternating our little pattern. And then just one more. So let's do this one. So 2 3/4 is the middle of 5.5. And we'll get this one on. Oh, now that I'm looking at these, makes me wonder if I got that one. Yeah, that's the poinsettia. I wasn't sure. I'm like, wait a second, did I use the poinsettia side? Okay. Make sure I use the right side of the paper, right? And just match up the little scallops. And you could use just a, you know, if you don't have a punch like this that's a decorative punch, you don't have to do, you know, you don't have to worry about that. Just cut a little rectangle out and make a rectangle. Or if you've got a circle punch, use that. It doesn't have to be, I mean, if you've got a decorative punch like this, that makes it fun. Kind of gives it a little bit of something there, right? And so there we've got that. So far we've got our little pull tabs that we've made in here with our little cards, and you could journal on it. You could put pictures on there if you wanted to, whatever you want to do. And then we also did the alternating patterns on the back. And then this will be the front, and we're going to tie it around. So let me show you how to make that fun little easy flap, okay? So inside here, if you're just coming on, under here, I put 2 circles at the tips of the envelope, because these envelopes have the, you know, the diagonal points like this. And so in the center here, I put a circle, a cardstock circle on each side to give it a little bit more stability. You guys, I'm going to try to use this, but I'm not really sure if this will work on here, because I might have made it so sturdy. That's not even going to go where I need it to. I'm going to have to get my crocodile. You know, I wonder if the Big Bite has a bigger... I've got two different sizes. Oh, well, this is actually a hole punch, but that's only a 1/4 inch. Well, then shoot, where's my crocodile? Well, here's the big one. So it's got an 1/8 of an inch and a 3/16 of an inch, and that's the one I want. And then you slide this little thing here, and then you get the it has 2 little places for the different sizes of the punch. And so so that I'm going to use the larger size, and I'm just going to kind of put it in here. I want to kind of find where the middle of that is. I can feel the center. I think I'm going to try to do it right here. Where's my ruler? Good grief, I feel like I'm just always hunting for my ruler. So I know three and 3. Okay. I know that my little reinforcement is smack dab in the middle. So I am going to mark this here, so I can get it in the middle. And I can feel the edge, so I think we're good to go. Phew! Who knew punching a hole could be so whatever? So would that be interesting? It's not interesting, right? But we're going to punch it right here. And I think I'm going to do it from the other side as well. Yep. Well, goodness sakes. You guys, I'm going to have to grab out my craft knife. That did not make a very pretty hole. It left a lot of stuff here. You know what? Maybe I will try this little hole punch. I'm gonna move this. I tell you, all these tools, you gotta pay attention to what you're doing with them, right? And when you don't use them all that often, it takes you a minute to remember how they work, where the hole's there, or whatever you're doing. Boy, I'm afraid if I miss, I'm really gonna have a mess. Well, that made a little bigger hole. Okay, let me see if I can get it cleaned up a little bit. Okay, back to the craft knife. That punched a much bigger hole. And that's like one of those We Are Memory Keeper hole punches too. It's just, it looks a lot like the crocodile, but it is not. Wow. going around in a circle on it with a knife like that is not my favorite. How about you guys? Okay, so I think we're good to go on that. Now all we have to do is we just put the oh no, there's one more thing. So our ribbon is going to come out here, our closure, and then we're going to use a little tiny bit. We're going to snip just a little bit up here. So straight across from where our ribbon is down here, we're going to take this little punch here. And if you didn't have something like this, you know, you could just use kind of a regular hole punch, I think, and get it. So now we've got this little bit right here at the very tippy top of our folder. Okay, and so now we're just going to take our ribbon I'd already pulled out some ribbon for us to use. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoy this project, and if you make one, I'd love to see it, you guys. And hopefully some people get to see this. I don't know what is going on with some of it. So all you have to do is you just take your ribbon and it goes from the outside right here. And I got glue all on me. I look like I got some disease or something. So this part comes from the outside in right here, and then it comes through this little slot. Okay, and then you just fold it up like this, and you just pull however, you know, you'll be able to see how much that you need, and you just tie it up, and that's all there is to it. Isn't that I love this closure. It's very different. We don't see it very often, I don't think anyway. And it's just a fun little closure. So let me see. Let me cut this right here, and I can tell you better about how much ribbon you would need. Let's go ahead and open it back up. So for this piece right here, this would be, there's 20. Well, almost like about 30 inches of ribbon. And so not quite a yard of ribbon to go around like that. And so this came from one of those trim bundles I've told you about before that I got from Michael's, and just a whole bunch of ribbons and all kinds of stuff. And this actually was for a bunch that they had that was supposed to be kind of like for 4th of July. And so I had way more than I needed back then. So, you know, now I've got plenty that are, you know, red, white, and blue for us. And so this one that I made before with the 2 colors of ribbon coming out. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so gruff sounding. What did I do with that? Oh. And see, this one I just went ahead and I put the reinforcement on this one on the outside, just because I thought, you know, it just would make it fun. And I was able to put 2 colors. I just put 2 different ribbons in here to, you know, to make for this one. It was just kind of fun, and I just wanted it to be a little bit more fun, and that was why I went ahead and used the 2 kinds of ribbon on that. So there's plenty of room in there for that. So I hope you will make one. I hope you'll try that. And it's time for us to go over and check out what Wendy has got with her Simply Bewitching Crafts by Wendy. And so I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. I will be on again live on Monday. I'll talk to you later. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.